morning and welcome back to Cheat Sheet at the World Cup, your daily bite-sized breakdown of the biggest stories from the USA, Canada and Mexico. I'm Hayley McQueen and here's what you need to know this Tuesday morning. Spain scored a stoppage time winner to beat Portugal 1-0 and move into the quarter-finals. It's a result which ends Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup dreams and sees Roberto Martinez step down as Portugal head coach. Spain will play Belgium next after they thrash co-hosts USA 4-1 in Seattle. England are back at their base recovering from that epic win over Mexico. We'll get the latest from Kansas City in a moment. And the quarter-final lineup will be finalised tonight with Argentina playing Egypt and Switzerland taking on Colombia. But we're going to start with what we think is probably going to be Cristiano Ronaldo's last ever game at a World Cup, and Dave Reed is with me now to go through that. It's all he ever wanted, but unfortunately Portugal are out.
They are, and we think it is going to be Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup game. Spain through by a 1-0, late goal in that game, and Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup career is over. Didn't have a lot of chances in the game. You could see he was emotional at the end of the game as well, knowing exactly what that means for Portugal, not just being out of the tournament, but also at the end of a kind of World Cup career. I think questions now kind of be asked about, did they really, that Portugal team, live up to the quality of Cristiano Ronaldo within that generation of players? They had so much quality on the pitch last night, and they were just unable to break through this Spain defence, and they didn't have loads of chances in the game. The previous match against Croatia, they played quite well, but again, are they playing to their maximum, that group of players? We now know that Roberto Martinez, the manager, is stepping down after the defeat to Spain last night. And if you look at the game as a whole, both sides, so much quality on the pitch, and you think, well, this is going to be an amazing game when you kind of look at the billing. Portugal against Spain, two European powerhouses, but actually the game wasn't particularly entertaining. It was stodgy, a little bit turgid. Lots of pass, but not too much incision and precision in the game. Best chance of the first half probably was through Mikel Oyarzabal. He's had a great World Cup so far, but shot wide of Diogo Costa. Then Alex Baena also forced a brilliant save from the Portugal goalkeeper. A shot from the left-hand side of the area that looked like it was going to dip in, and Costa stuck out a big hand and tipped it wide. For Portugal, Nuno Mendes had a shot that deflected onto the bar. And then the big moment came right at the end of the game. Mikel Merino came off the bench. He took a free kick kind of midway inside the Portugal half quite quickly, and then ran into the penalty area, received the lovely through ball from Ferran Torres and finished beyond the goalkeeper, and that was the telling moment really. Spain winning by a 1-0. Spain go through, Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo are out.
They are, as are the last of the co-hosts to fall now. USA maybe expecting bigger things from them. They kept saying how they've arrived on the world stage and that they were hoping to go all the way, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, a little bit underwhelming performance again from I say again, but actually I was quite surprised, because this tournament they have been so aggressive without the ball. They've looked like they're kind of making up for perhaps the talent gap in their side by working extremely hard and getting in people's faces, and they were just a bit passive against Belgium, and it surprised me a little bit. Maybe it was all the build-up that got to the players a little bit. As you say, everyone was getting excited about the United States, but then also the build-up was dominated by this following Balogun situation. The striker started the game after his red card against Bosnia-Herzegovina. The ban for that was suspended by the FIFA Independent Disciplinary Committee. Now, the tension over that situation almost seemed to galvanise Belgium rather than the United States in that game. De Ketelaere tapped them ahead early in the game. Malik Tillman did equalise for the United States with a deflected free kick, and you thought, well, that's going to be the thing that sparks them into life, but it was only a few minutes, and then Belgium were back in front again. Trossard crossing for De Ketelaere to put them ahead again. 12 minutes into the second half, any kind of thoughts of a comeback from the United States evaporating. Matt Fries, the goalkeeper, big mistake, came out of his box to kind of intercept a ball over the top, but he was caught on the ball, and Van Aken put it in. and then Belgium added a fourth through Romelu Lukaku in added time, and now it's going to be Belgium versus Spain in the quarter-final, and the United States are out.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Well, you're staying with us because we're going to be looking ahead to the other matches, of course, a little bit later. But we are going to catch up with England now, of course, building up to their huge quarter-final, that 10 p.m. kickoff on Saturday night in Miami. And Rob Dorset is out in Kansas City for us.
I think after all the euphoria of that incredible moment, that incredible occasion inside the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, it'll feel a bit like back down to reality and back down to earth for Thomas Tuchel today. Not for the players, they've got a second day off. He wants them to really have some focus on rest and recovery after all of the physical and emotional exertions, but he only gave himself one day off. He's back to work today, and he's got an awful lot on his mind, you have to say, particularly a right-back. We've talked about it all tournament, but Jarrell Quansah is suspended. Is he going to appeal against that decision? If he's going to, I think he's got to do that in the next 24 hours or so. Reece James, I'm told, is being fast-tracked with his treatment, and he's got a 50-50 chance maybe of being involved in some way against Norway on Saturday in this quarter-final. I still think it's a long shot that he'll be able to start the game. Remember, he picked up that hamstring injury, which is pretty nasty, a fortnight ago today in the second group game, and he hasn't trained with his England teammates since. But because they've got so few right-backs, England are desperately trying to get him back as quickly as possible. Jed Spence still not fully fit, even though he came off the bench quite late on against Mexico, so he's being assessed. So does Ezri Konsa have to play there, and he has to switch up his back four? Let's see how that develops over the next few days. But he'll be thinking about yellow cards as well for the first time in the tournament, Thomas Tuchel, because 4 key players are on a yellow card now. Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, we know how vital they are. If they were to get another yellow card against Norway, they'd miss the semi-final if England got there. Likewise, Declan Rice, who's been the powerhouse and key driving force in England's midfield, not just in this tournament, but for ages now. And Nico O'Reilly's on a yellow card. He's England's only left-back in the squad. So you can see why, even if he's had a bit of a break, Thomas Tuchel, he's got an awful lot to think about and plan and deal with as he builds for that massive game on Saturday, a quarter-final in Miami against Erling Haaland and Norway.
It's tough to stop Haaland because he's sort of what would be, he can be anonymous in matches. He doesn't touch it a lot, but you know that he's explosive, and he was devastating yesterday against Brazil. Those 2 goals were absolutely brilliant. Classic Haaland. The first one, just slipping in front of and moving in front of Gabriel with a brilliant header. Then the second one is just pure, just touch and a powerful hit that, beats one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Difficult to stop him for 90 minutes, or if it's extra time as well, 120 minutes. But we should be favourites. I don't think that's us getting carried away. I think we should be favourites to beat Norway, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough on Saturday, and it would have been tough, obviously, being playing Brazil. You're in a World Cup quarter-final. I thought Ødegaard played well yesterday as well for Norway. I thought that not necessarily in his final part, but in the bit in which he moved around and sort of kept the ball for them. They've got some good players. The manager was really brave for Norway at half-time, changing the 2 wide players. I thought that had a big impact on the game. Look, Norway have got some firepower. They've got a front 4, whoever they play up there, but Haaland obviously right at the point of it, that are dangerous, and England are going to have to be on their guard. Brilliant. A game to look forward to in Miami on Saturday, but it's going to be tough. But England should just edge it, but it's dangerous.
Let's have a look now at the last of the round of 16 games. What have we got to look forward to then this evening?
We've got Messi versus Salah, Argentina versus Egypt, which should be hopefully a really entertaining game. Both have been pretty good in this tournament so far. Argentina probably the standout, but Egypt unbeaten in the tournament so far. Argentina came through that absolute epic against Cape Verde. Were they fortunate? I mean, it was only an own goal that kind of saw them through that game in the end, but it was a brilliant game, one of the most entertaining of the World Cup so far, as Argentina came through after extra time against Cape Verde. Egypt needed a shootout to get past Australia. That wasn't the best performance from Egypt. It was quite a close game, that one, but they managed to get through. As I say, Egypt unbeaten in the tournament, and this is their looking to make their first quarter-final ever of a World Cup. So this is a massive moment for Egypt and their team. Salah, there's been a few question marks over his fitness, but he came through the game against Australia fine. And obviously Lionel Messi lining up had a brilliant tournament so far for Argentina.
Yeah, Thank you. Cannot wait for that one. But look, Switzerland, Colombia, it's a tricky one to kind of figure out how this is going to go, isn't it, later on?
It feels like these are two of everyone's dark horses
Yeah.
before the tournament started, so it feels quite difficult to pick a winner here. Switzerland beat Algeria in the last round, and Colombia beat Ghana by a goal to nil. Colombia really fully deserved that victory. They were all over Ghana for most of that game. The standout player for the Swiss in this tournament has been Johan Manzambi, the Freiburg player. He's got 3 goals and is their top scorer. He'll probably play off the striker. And then for Colombia, 34-year-old James Rodriguez still going. Had a good tournament so far. Came off against Ghana with what looked like an injury, but it looks like he's going to be playing in this game and he's going to be fit to play. Colombia have had a good tournament so far. Switzerland have had a good tournament so far. Who's going to make it through to the quarter-final?
We shall soon see. Dave, thank you. That does us for today. Don't forget you can get live updates on all the matches on skysports.com and also the Sky Sports app. Thank you very much for listening to Cheat Sheet at the World Cup. Make sure to give us a follow wherever you listen to your podcast or hit subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss an episode. Enjoy the action. See you soon.